Right then, this is a quick road test video and for a very, very special car. This is a Honda Accord 2-litre executive manual, registered RF04EYX. This car's covered just 54,000 miles from new, as you'll know hopefully from the advert, with amazing ownership. Basically it was a Honda demonstrator to begin with, and then one private chap's had it ever since, and has seen fit to have it serviced 16 times, I think, at the same Honda dealership all the way through, which is why it isn't cheap, and it's not intended to be, but someone, as I do, is going to be willing to pay for someone else's investment in looking after the car, and rightly so. That's why they're special. The reason we do the road test videos, by the way, especially this part, is essentially so that if anyone's online looking at our cars advertised, they actually get to see the car in operation, and we feel it's very, very important. We've been to see loads of cars which have looked perfectly good, only to get them find out when you drive them they've got a fundamental issue that shows up whilst driving the car. So hence that's why we do it. Also done on these lovely quiet country roads very close to our premises. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, so hopefully then it would be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to this car, we don't buy many Hondas of this generation anymore, not for any other reason that most of them are done well over 100,000 miles, different kind of ownership at that stage, may not be looked after quite as well, so they just don't meet the standards we want for our forecourt. But when one like this becomes available, I have to buy it. I have to buy it, each and every one. We just, every now and again I buy maybe one a year, and 3 turn up at the same time. But it's a very special era of car for Honda. It is one of the best engineered family saloons you'll ever sit in. Starting with the heart of the engine, the heart of the car, the engine itself. Honda build the best 4-cylinder engines in the world, bar none. It's as simple as that. But it's for all the right reasons. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows they're strong and reliable, but they're stronger and more reliable than you'll ever realise. They're way, way, way tougher than any other car of this generation. But it's the way the engine sounds and feels and operates. It's a precision instrument. It is just so sweet natured. You touch the throttle, you've got this lovely light sweet engine note that you're aware of straight away. There's nothing coarse about the engine at all. It's just beautifully balanced. It revs all its revs with it's such a sweet note, but it's also got what I love from Honda. It's got a bit of character, because when you put your foot down you kind of get a bit of induction noise, and it crystallizes its power. It starts to draw through. It's a brilliant engine, even by today's standards, which most modern engines I hate. They're all low revving, small capacity turbocharged engines which are completely one-dimensional. This gives you the option to have almost 2 engines in one, docile and sweet up to a point, and then it pulls with vigour. Beyond that, it's just it's fantastic. There are no warning lights, of course, on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car. And temperature gauge, by the way, running at a 3rd, which is exactly where it's meant to be, and it's been running for some time now. Clutch on the car, again, with the mileage you expect it to be good, and it is. It's perfect. It's slick in operation. It's smooth. Bite point's exactly where it's meant to be. 5-speed manual gearbox. One of Honda's great strengths are their gearboxes, not just for reliability but also the quality of actuation, and this is no different. The feel you get engaging the gears, it just feels beautifully engineered, and that feels exactly as it would have done when it was new. It's still as slick and satisfying to use as ever. And then we come to probably my favourite part of the car, which is the chassis, which when most people get in, they can't quite work out why I get so enthusiastic about them, for good reason. Basically, when you get in them, they just feel smooth, comfortable. I mean, it feels ridiculously tight, even regardless of the mileage. It just feels like I'm driving around in a new car. Everything feels so tight still. The steering, the suspension, there's no clonks, no rattles, nothing. But basically, when you suddenly realise, actually, as you're driving along, how compliant the suspension is. This section of road is horrible. Most modern cars patter horribly up and down this road. This, you can still feel the bumps, of course you can still hear them, but it rides them so much better. It's got a brilliant ride quality to the car. But its alter ego is the fact that if you want to push the car and you're in a bit of a hurry or you're an enthusiastic driver, it rewards. It's got this beautiful steering that is kind of oily in feel, but millimetre perfect in a way, where you put it through the corners, and it feels so confidence inspiring at all speeds. And the chassis, I'm not suggesting you should go out there and push the car to extremes, but it handles those extremes absolutely brilliantly. And I've been lucky enough to take these on track days for Honda years ago to sort of show them off. It is an incredibly accomplished chassis. It really is. As I said, there's no noises, there's no clonks, there's no rattles. Steering, track's absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to, which is what I'm approaching now, the legal limit. Yep, just no vibrations at all. I'm going to give the brakes a bit of a shove, but make sure no one's directly behind me, so I go thumping into the back of me. Just give them a nice firm prod. They're really good. They're powerful. There's no pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal. It's all been checked, by the way. It's just been through an independent MOT without any advisories at all. So we should expect, given the history of the vehicle, in all honesty. So finally, coming inside the car, one thing you're acutely aware of straight away is the build quality. I mean, they are beautifully put together cars. No squeaks or rattles, not even a hint of one. It just feels beautifully solid in the way it's constructed. And it's also what a lovely place to sit and drive a car. You've got a dashboard that is so simple and easy to operate. As with all Hondas, you've got this beautiful quality of actuation for the every little button you press has that fantastic feel to it. It really is absolutely, I said, superbly constructed. Down to the small details, not just the bigger ones. You've got a radio here, just simple and easy to use, of course. You've got dual zone climate control systems, so different temperatures side to side if you so wish, and it blows out cold air, by the way. We checked it in a nice warm workshop and all was fine. Heated seats, again, working exactly as they should. All of the finish inside, virtually unmarked. Dash binnacle in front, typical of Honda, beautifully presented and displayed. You just look at it, you take the information in, and that's it, it's all done. Too many modern dashboards are far too fussy, they really are. Now you've got a lovely leather-bound steering wheel, which I love is of its era because it's actually quite thin-rimmed, which actually gives you much nicer feel. Most modern cars seem to think big fat steering wheels are what you want. Most racing drivers prefer thin steering wheels so they can actually feel what's going on, and this is, say, very much of its time and its era. But it's all working absolutely perfectly. It really is. It's a joyful car. It really is, and someone somewhere will see the same value in it that I do, and rightly so, because it's a beautiful piece of engineering. They just don't build them like this anymore. As always, though, if you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate. Please give us a call.